The following program is presented by Pro Sound and Video.
Today on Broward Teen News, we're at Vista View Park to reflect on some of CTV's best work from this past year.
Stay tuned to see one man's unique living,
another's inspirational day,
productions from other South Florida high schools,
and much more.
I'm Brecken.
And I'm Brian, and Broward Teen News starts now. Welcome to Broward Teen News Cooper City Edition.
You know, despite COVID, we've created some pretty great work this year.
Like our first story from Chase about one man with a unique hobby.
Bonsai is the ancient art form of shaping and manipulating tiny trees to give them the appearance of an older, more mature tree. And this art form has been around since as early as 600 AD. But as its popularity has begun to decrease, one man in South Florida is trying to keep it alive.
Hi, I'm Tyler Dubois, and I'm Tyler the Bonsai Guy at Flamingo Road Nursery. My interest in bonsai really began as a birthday gift like 30 years ago. And a little juniper banana tree, and I actually killed it. And I never really bothered with it for about another 20 years after that. And then the gift again as a birthday gift inspired me and made me excited. Then I started researching a little bit and found out more about it and just decided, I think I can do this. And I just started doing it.
While the finished product might look incredible, it takes a lot to transform it from something that looks like this to something that looks like this. And the process in between is an extremely complex one that has taken Tyler many years to master.
The process is a little brutal because you truly have to really butcher the plant, because you can cut down any tree, and when you cut it, Mother Nature's going to kick into gear and she'll start pushing branches out everywhere. Then we go in and we choose the branches that are going to bring a nice look to the tree, and we remove everything else. And we use wiring to manipulate the branches and to manipulate the trunk to give them movement. We see the finished product 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road and know what the tree's going to look like when it grows back. So a big part of it is having a vision, but that just comes from someone teaching you what to look for and how to identify the best attributes of that tree and make a beautiful tree from it.
And as time goes on, the future of bonsai is beginning to look unclear.
And I am concerned that bonsai is going to die away, because it is dying. Because generally it's done by a bunch of little gray-haired men like me. So it's important for other people that do bonsai that we make sure that we pass this down to someone. So for me, it's going to be Dieter, my apprentice, because I have no kids. So he is the future of bonsai for me, because I think he's a very talented young man, and I'm teaching him everything I know, and we work together really well and create some really beautiful stuff together. But yeah, the future of bonsai is in peril if more young people don't get involved.
What are some words that come to mind when you think of the art form of bonsai?
Joy, happiness, focus, calm, serenity, peace, love, companionship with other people who love it. A lot of positive things, lots of positive stuff, nothing negative at all.
Although the future of bonsai around the world is uncertain, one thing we are sure of is that as long as Tyler has a say in it, bonsai will be sticking around for a very long time. And for CTV News, I'm Chase Parada.
Speaking of hobbies, I've really been enjoying reading over the summer break.
Then Rebecca has just the place for you. Let's check it out.
Fort Lauderdale is known for its calming beaches and thrilling city life. However, hidden within the city is the Old Florida Bookshop, a bookstore that keeps literacy alive within its pages.
We have books from the 18th century, 17th century, 16th century, even 15th century. Most people have never seen in their lives, let alone touched. I just feel they're important. Some of them are quite beautiful. You know, a map from, they're just striking. They're works of art. They're artifacts, really. A lot of books here are basically artifacts more than they are books, because the people that buy them oftentimes don't read them. They just want to own a 17th century Machiavelli or something.
Despite the competition that comes with selling any product, this bookshop gears their stock towards crowds looking for something original.
It's different in as much as the stock is much more varied. Well, you can buy a $3 Chaucer here or a $30,000 Chaucer here, and pretty much in between. So that's something you can't do at other bookstores about them. When you buy rare books, if you have enough expertise, you buy something that answers that, fills that void, that's something that someone might want. There's not much future of bookstores, and that's the reason I've continue to focus on books as artifacts rather than books as something to read. So it's an artifact. It's something that that man made in whatever period it is in some ways a little distillation of that period.
With priceless books and countless other artifacts, the Old Florida Bookshop has an antique flair like no other. For CTV News, I'm Rebecca Salomon.
There's been so much misinformation surrounding COVID. It's hard to keep track of what's been real and what's been fake.
Luckily, Josh got to meet with one man who's helping share the truth.
With vaccinations at an all-time high, also comes an increase in skepticism and doubt, and one individual is using a unique platform to spread the facts.
I'm a scientist who studies COVID-19, and I run a TikTok page and an Instagram page giving the facts about coronavirus, science, and other topics in health. I started my TikTok account probably in January-ish, and then I didn't actually start making videos until probably March. And then I started seeing huge amounts of misinformation about COVID, and I thought, all right, let's bring some scientific information about COVID into the mix.
A new version of COVID from England that spreads faster and kills people more will
soon overtake the original coronavirus in the United States. That is correct. But you have to tell the second half of the story.
To this day, I don't really have a goal. When I had 1,000 followers, I was like, cool, that is far more people than I speak to in any other day outside of TikTok. And then it grew to 2,000, then it grew to 4,000, 8,000, 16. And it's been great for broader reach of scientific information. I don't have an end goal in mind. I'm just gonna keep making this type of content and see where it heads.
Even after reaching the massive milestone of 500,000 followers, Dr. Knox still doesn't do it for the notoriety.
Consistently posting on social media is very challenging, especially since, it's not my job. I make a couple of dollars per day. So what does keep me doing it is sort of the positive engagement back from people, reaching out with messages saying oh, because of this video, I felt confident in getting a vaccine or something. And so it's good to see feedback that you're making a difference in people's lives.
But regardless of his PhD and years of experience, Dr. Knox still has trouble combating misinformation.
There are a huge number of misconceptions about the vaccine. And to some extent, it feels like addressing one misconception is like playing whack-a-mole. You resolve the issue about, rumors of infertility with the vaccines, but then there's 100 other things that people are concerned about. You see these misperceptions at the highest levels of talking heads on news organizations repeating some of these incorrect things. And so it's no surprise that if you're not studying this for hours and hours per day, it's hard to pick apart what is accurate information, what is not accurate information.
So what words of advice does Dr. Knox have about getting COVID-19 information?
Be extremely wary of anything you see on social media with respect to COVID. The vast likelihood is that it's probably misinformed in some way or another. There is some good content on social media about COVID, but it probably makes up 10% of all content about COVID. So just kind of be careful where you're getting your information.
We live in an age of digital uncertainty, which makes individuals like Dr. Knox extra important as they can spread awareness for the good of us all. And for CTV News, I'm Josh Heithouse.
I went through some family photos this weekend. It's crazy how long ago it feels since they were taken.
I know, right? And Gio got to talk with one artist who's bringing old photos back to life.
Everyone has black and white photos. Even though a lack of color may keep us from fully connecting with an image, one artist is helping to bring history back to life.
Hi, my name's Tom Marshall and I'm a photo colorizer. Well, I started colorizing really as a hobby for most of my childhood. And then I did a bit of photo editing as part of my course at college. And then I set up doing it as a business, and it's kind of grown from there, just from doing family photos up to projects for museums and publishers and that sort of thing.
Marshall finds a way to use uncolored photos as his canvas, working to ensure they look as accurate as they were in the moments they were taken.
Most of the work, say 60% of the work, I'd say, for a photo would be the research. So if I'm doing a military photo, for example, and I get a picture and they've got medal ribbons on, I just know that it's going to take me a good few hours because there's a lot of research to go into to find out what the colours of those ribbons were.
Colorizing moments of struggle and pain is no easy feat. Tom's job is to ensure his coloring is accurate to the horrors of the images, which can take its emotional toll.
The most emotionally taxing project that I've worked on was the Holocaust photos that I did, because I spent 2 weeks working on the project, and there's a lot of times when I could just have to switch off and not look at the screen for a few hours because They look like skeletons. There's an 18-year-old girl in the Dachau concentration camp, and she looks like an 80-year-old man. She looks like she's just got no life in her at all, really. So yeah, that was the hardest thing I've worked on.
Although it may not be easy, Tom puts his all into restoring images of significance, giving individuals, specifically younger generations, a new way to view and learn from the past.
It's really important to remember that these people existed and that their story gets remembered and told by different generations. And the problem that we have is that nobody thinks to go and look at these pictures, or if they're shown to them, a lot of people just don't bother to look into it. But as soon as you see this face in colour looking back at you, people just, stop and look and read the story. So I like the idea that younger generations will see these photos, kids at school will look at the story behind it. It's just a way of connecting with a new generation, I think.
Color gives us a new perspective and emotion to something we may not have otherwise fully connected with. And with a lot of time and hard work, Tom and other individuals like him are re-educating us in a new and unique way. For CTV News, this has been Giovanni Papini.
CTV got to meet with so many interesting and inspiring people this past year.
Definitely. And Jake got to follow one of those individuals' day in town.
Getting a job for those in the disabled community can be quite challenging. Today, one organization is taking the steps to change this.
My name is here. I'm taking there. I both. I need people and I take
Special Compass is a nonprofit organization with a mission to promote inclusivity and provide a better quality of life for those differently abled.
Well, me and my son Michael are the founders of Special Compass, and our mission is to promote inclusion for those who are differently abled. Special Compass provides these outlets and creates friendships, creates community, creates sense of purpose. All of these things are key for self-esteem, self-confidence, and worth.
My peace of life is to try and give me the best shot.
Today in town, Special Compass is working hard to make sure that people like Michael have an opportunity to live every day to the fullest. For CTV News, I'm Jake Lance.
With BTN, we get the chance to work with so many other South Florida high schools.
Here's a story from one student at Arthur and Polly Mays Conservatory of the Arts on a pressing issue.
Hi, my name is Vanya Cadet, reporter for WMCA TV, and today I'm here to talk to you about the rise on anti-Asian hate crimes. Later in the video, I'll be having 3 guests talking about their experiences as an Asian American in the U.S.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, hate crimes targeted towards the AAPI, Asian American and Pacific Islander community have significantly increased. The spike in racism targeted towards the AAPI community is a result of how the COVID-19 pandemic was initially covered.
At the White House, you used the term Kung Flu. My question is, do you think that's wrong, Kung Flu? And do you think using the term Chinese virus, that puts Asian Americans at risk, that people might target them?
No, not at all. I think they probably would agree with it 100%.
So how has the increase on the anti-Asian hate crimes affected you personally?
The only thing that I can say, it doesn't matter where you're from or what. I think to get this part out of the way is educate the kids in school a lot more about different cultures and different countries. You can't say like, oh, you're Asian, so you're from China, because Asia is it's a big continent and there's so many different countries there. So, it's part of the educational system that you actually inform the kids in school.
It does stem from a place of fear. I mean, people are afraid, and I understand why they're afraid. I mean, I was afraid too, and until things can go back to normal, it is a stressful time for a lot of people. I just think, like Pearl said, it's just, there's a healthy way of dealing with your fear, and there's a really unhealthy, violent, hurtful way to express that fear.
At first, I was thinking most of the reports, kind of like what Linda was saying, was like in New York and California, and people were saying like, oh, it's mostly like older, vulnerable people. But then I started seeing reports of other people, just like, oh, teenagers ganging up on each other, or like just you're on the bus and someone's going to spit at you or something. And it's happening all over the country. It's not just, you know, places where there's a lot of Asian people. So it's kind of, it has made me a little more mindful.
So how can people support and be an ally to the Asian community right now?
I mean, I feel like a lot of my friends are already good at, I mean, you just treat other Asian people like you would anybody else. I mean, like you would your own friends and family. I mean, just with respect.
If you hear someone say something like, call them out for it, even if it's, with good intention, or that they're just ignorant, they don't understand that what they said is offensive or wrong or bad or whatever, just explain to them like, hey, that's not cool because XYZ. And then, you can help educate people little by little.
Ultimately, everybody is a human. Everybody has feelings. It doesn't matter the color, the age. You always have to have respect towards each other.
Although violence against Asian Americans is on the rise, racism is not new. Hashtag Stop Asian Hate marches have been planned throughout the United States and Canada to spread awareness on anti-Asian hate crimes and to show solidarity with the AAPI community.
This is Vanya Cadet signing off.
Coming up, we'll take a look at some food reviews from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
But we'll be right back after these short messages.
Hit it!
Now for some food reviews from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Let's take a look.
If you've ever been to New York, you know all about their delicious bagels, arguably some of the best in the US. But what if I told you that you could get New York quality bagels right here in South Florida? Today, we're at Manhattan Bagels in Coral Springs to check out the place's food, service, and what makes the bagels so good. Let's head inside. Manhattan Bagels provides everything you want in a classic bagel shop, along with a variety of new fan favorites.
Our bagels are proprietary to Manhattan Bagels, so you won't find the same bagel unless you're at another Manhattan Bagel.
Yeah.
And it's no secret water, there's no secret anything. It is the bagel. There is work to go into it before they get out because they need to be proofed and boiled. We do other stuff.
We're the best bagels in South Florida, best bagels south of New York actually, so Manhattan Bagel, self-explanatory.
Because it's a process, so to not run out, you have to stay ahead of time, but the bagels are definitely the best.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Empire State Club, all day and tomorrow. And the day after that too.
The asparagus mushroom.
Really? Wow, okay.
But you also can just never beat like a bagel cream cheese.
Exactly. But that's not the only thing that keeps people coming. The staff of Manhattan Bagels draw regulars with their charming personalities and wonderful service.
Part of it is our charming personality. We get very personal with a lot of the customers. They just get to know us, and it's part of the family. A lot of them are family. You just become so close from seeing the same people all the time. I think more so than maybe the food, they come back for the people that are here.
And lastly, the question that everyone's wondering, what makes the food so good?
All the love that we put into it, and a little harassment.
So next time you need breakfast, coffee, or even just a warm welcome from the wonderful staff and regulars, come visit Manhattan Bagels.
I'm David Murley.
I'm Christian Frenga, and today we are at Belove Creamery.
And today we're going to be reviewing this great restaurant. Let's go in.
Let's dig in, shall we? Alright, well now that you double dip.
So with the creamy texture of the ice cream, it really adds to the flavor, as well as the cookie.
Yeah, the cookie makes it, it adds to the overall sweetness of it.
Now, for our overall review of this delicacy, it does come with a small price, but with a big flavor.
I think the vanilla ice cream and the glazed cookie really complement the flavor, as well as the rainbow sprinkles, and it was overall a very good snack.
Really nice. And I give it a 10 out of 10, really.
Now, David, I give it an 11 out of 10.
I've been here about 4 months, and it's been really good. Everyone here is really nice and like helpful. So we make our ice cream like every day. The flavors are only 10% fat and all natural, and you should try it. It's really good.
Now, for overall conclusion of this restaurant, Belove Creamery, the employees are very nice. The whole store is very clean.
And we would recommend this to anyone in South Boca, Florida for a nice cold delicacy to have on a nice summer day coming up.
No better place than this.
All this talk about food is making me hungry.
Same here, but maybe Matt can help us out with that.
The following is a dramatized demonstration of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Patient overdosed on carbs. Bringing him to surgery stat.
What's wrong with him?
See for yourself.
Oh my God. This is worse than I thought. Assistant, bring him to the toasting room now.
On it.
Gloves.
Glove.
Scalpel with 30 cc's peanut butter.
Scalpel.
Eight milliliters jelly.
Jelly. Phew, another life saved. No.
What?
In addition to news, CTV also got to create some more entertaining productions.
Take a look at this short film featuring Jake.
Is it recording? Okay, I hope it is. All right. Hello world. My name is Jake, and I got this keyboard during quarantine, and I thought I'd teach myself how to play because there's no better time. And I figured, well, if I did document it, did I do it at all? So here is the first key of the first vlog. I've been getting pretty good these past few months, but something super random. I was reading a book the other day, and I was trying to read it, but all the pages and all the words were just so blurry. I think I might need glasses. I don't know, but I'll update you guys next time on the next vlog. Boom. It's so weird. The chords and the sounds are becoming like second nature to me. It's crazy. You know what's also crazy? I was driving the other day, and it was just like blurry. My vision was shot. I really think I have to go to the doctor. Something is totally wrong. And that was Beethoven's Ninth. Oh, remember I was talking to you guys about my eyes? So I ended up going to the doctors, and basically I have this thing called macular digression. So essentially for a little bit and for the rest of my life, my eyes are going to get progressively worse, and I'm not going to be able to see much. But I can still hear and play, so that'll be fun. Guys, you know what's really cool? Ever since I lost my vision, I've kind of got a distinct sound for every single key. I can tell them all apart, and there's no similarities. But my vision's so shot the other day that when I went to go open the door, I couldn't even put the key in the lock. It's pretty bad, but still got the piano. It's getting pretty hard. My life's really changed forever. Like, I can't do much anymore, but the one thing I can do is I can still play the piano, so that's why these videos are still coming out. And I'm gonna keep trying, but it's really hard. But I'm gonna keep trying.
Well, that wraps it up here from Cooper City. I'm Brecken.
And I'm Brian. If you want to see stories like these and more, make sure you like our Broward Teen News Facebook page.
See you next time.
Broward Teen News was brought to you by ProSound and Video.